So this is my setup for the time being. I've got my mixing desk, which is obviously the most important part. I'm controlling the signals from all the microphones from the instruments, plus vocal mics for each of the performers. The signals from my computer are also going into the mixing desk, as is any of the other electronics. I'm receiving a signal from the percussion stage, which will be however far away in the performance. That also has to go to the mixing desk. I've got to control the overall sound for the group that the audience is going to hear, as well as preparing a mix that the group members can hear. It is really important that they can hear the percussion sound through their own stage monitors. And for those instruments that have electronic processing, and really here we're talking about the viola primarily, the viola player needs to hear what the effect of the processing is, so that they can actually perform with that. So I have to set up a separate mix, mainly of the viola processed sounds, and give that back to the viola player. I have a couple of other effects. I've got a little bit of reverb just in case. We may or may not need that, but it might help to tie in the sound and give a more of a unified overall sound picture. And then I've also got here, I've got a pitch changer to transpose the pitch of the tenor voice. So that also gets mixed in. I'm using the computer for the Viola Filter. So the signal comes in, gets processed with the computer, and this is controlled by a pedal that the viola player has, and that goes through this box that I've built with which just contains an Arduino, and I've coded that to respond in the way I want it to. And I'm using this, which is a max patch, which either looks like complete spaghetti or you're familiar with it, and there's not much in between, I'm afraid. It's work in progress because we're evolving this as we rehearse. The viola player is getting a feel for the electronics, which is effectively a new instrument, really. It's an extension of the instrument, but it kind of makes a new instrument. So there's a lot to learn. That's actually, Bridget's probably got the most pressure in terms of the rehearsal, because she's really got to get to grips with how this extends the tone of her instrument and how to hear it properly. Because of course she's got the viola right up against her ear, so we need to, it's a really tricky balance to get the signal right. And I'm working out what other elements she might need. So for example, yesterday we discovered that actually for some of the sections, she would like to have a fundamental tone, and then she's going to actually play the harmonics above that. So I had to work out how to generate a nice sort of viola type tone for a sustained tone, how to get that to be only playing when she's playing another note, and how to actually feed that the right note to start with. So I've you probably can't see that just from this angle, but I've made myself a keyboard so I can get the right note easily, and various other elements. So this is spaghetti because it's work in progress, and at some point I'll have to tidy it up. This is a really exciting unit. This is a filter built by Otto Krenzler. He studied with Stockhausen as an intern in the VDR studio, and so he built this I think in the 80s for a performance of Sternklang. And this goes beyond just a normal wah-wah pedal or a simple filter. It's got a couple of different filters in it, has a compressor, and it has the socket to plug a control pedal in, which I've got down here. So I'm actually running the trombone through this, and for some of the models, effectively each page of the score is a model. For some of the models, I'm using the pedal and manual controls to just enhance the sound of the trombone as well. But I believe this is potentially the first performance of Sternklang that these filters have been used in. And it's great because it's part of my research at the Open University. I look into historically informed performance practice, although not with catgut strings and stuff from the sort of 15th century. I'm looking at the 1950s and 60s and 70s. So this is a great way of me getting to grips with the technology, how it was used, the design of it, how that affords certain options and possibilities for the music making. And then, having built an instrument as well, this is also part of extending the life of the piece, if you like, and bringing new ideas into play, but at the same time trying to remain as faithful as possible to the original concept of the piece. So there's quite a bit going on behind the scenes, and a lot of actual work in progress. So yeah, I've got my work cut out for me during this piece.